Ooh, it is warm today. Can I take off my Carmen Sandiego garb? Let's see. Nope, nope, I need these. Where in the world is the Amon Acres lady? It is about 103 today. It is extremely warm. We also have humidity, dust from harvesting, smoke from fires. We're a hot mess right now in Oregon, so bear with me as I go through this video. We're gonna get through this. I wanted to just take a moment to create a video that introduced the channel and what the purpose of the channel is, really. My husband and I bought this house 4 years ago. We bought it in the late summer, early fall of 2017. And we knew when we bought the house that it was going to be a very big project. We already knew that. In fact, our inspector put his finger through our siding when he was doing the inspection. And that was probably not the worst thing by far that went on our inspection report. So we knew when we bought this place that it had a lot of work that needed to be done, a lot of delayed maintenance that needed to be done. The house had been a little bit neglected and needed some significant updating. The yard had been significantly neglected. Not out of malice. The previous owner was a very kind woman, but her husband passed away and it was just too much to do on her own. It's 2 acres and nothing is automated. There's no in-ground sprinklers, there's no nothing. So it was a lot of work for her to do on her own, and so she just decided to sell it and we bought it. Over the last 4 years, we have worked really hard just to get to the starting line. I feel like we started about a mile behind the starting line and now we're finally inching up to an actual starting point. And I have taken before and after photos, or I guess before and during photos throughout this 4-year journey, and they've been a lifesaver for us because some projects don't go as you thought they would, some projects take longer, sometimes you feel like you haven't made enough progress, and looking at those before photos have really helped us stay motivated. They have helped us feel good about all the work we're doing because it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget what you've done and what the place looked like when we bought it. I'll actually pop up some pictures on the screen here just so you can see our before photos. These are the photos that I took the day we got the keys and came over and it was officially ours. It was about this time of year, about a month later I guess, and there was smoke in the sky, so it was very appropriate that there's smoke in the sky now and there's smoke in the sky in the pictures. There's some continuity. But yeah, it was a giant project. So this channel is to document all the work that we're doing on the house and on the property. We're doing a lot of work and it's really exciting, and I wanted to share it with folks. So that's the main part of this channel. The other part of this channel is I am a plant enthusiast. I am a novice self-taught gardener and I'm constantly still learning. I am constantly reading, constantly watching YouTube how-to videos and all those types of things, and I want to share that journey with folks who are willing participants. You know, I hold my friends and family hostage occasionally and discuss all my plants and my garden plans, but I'd really like to share it with people who are genuinely wanting to be a part of the process. Throughout these videos, you will probably see our animals. We have 2 dogs. Walter, who's a 13-year-old beagle this year. He's 13 in November, and I have had him since he was 8 weeks old. And there's a bee. And Sadie, who we have had since she was 4 weeks old. We fostered that litter, and she and her brother Chunk were just too good to pass up. We had to bring them into our family. Her brother Chunk passed away, unfortunately, at 2.5 from a degenerative neurological condition. Having him was such a gift. We incorporated him into our family and gave him amazing care, and he had a really good 2.5 years of his life, and it broke my heart when he left, but I was so grateful that we got to be the family that that cared for him and loved him. We also have 3 sheep. We have the 2 sheep that we rescued. They were being sold as meat sheep, and I fell in love with them, so we rescued them as babies. That is Ernie and Bert. Bert and Ernie. We call Bert Bertone because he's a fancy sheep. And then our 3rd sheep came from our neighbors. Her name is Pretty Lady, and she's about 10 now. And they had no other sheep left in their flock, and sheep are herd animals, so they needed that. They need that community, and she didn't have that, and so our neighbors said, hey, do you mind if she joins your boys? And so now she lives here, and she's an absolute sweetheart. I'm so glad that they asked us to take her in. The last section of our animal farm is the one that sounds the worst, but let me explain. We have 4 cats. We live in an area that has a lot of feral cats. We have agricultural fields around us, and people come and dump their cats quite regularly, and then oftentimes those cats aren't fixed, and so they breed, and we have this cat colony that's going on in the area. We have a spay, trap, neuter, release program that we participate in for the feral cats in the area. Our first cat actually was a feral cat. She started sleeping in our barn about a year after we moved in, and my personal philosophy is that she saw us going out every single day and spoiling the sheep and said, boy, these people are the suckers for me, and she just invited herself in to be a part of the family. It was a snowy March day. It was a late snow for us. We don't typically get snow in March, but it was a snowy March day in 2019, I want to say, and I was letting the dogs back in from going potty outside, and she just invited herself in and has been a member of our family ever since. Her name is Moomy. The other 2 cats who came along after her came last year. My husband's aunt passed away, and she had 2 cats that no one could really adopt. One of them was older. He's now 14 years old, and he has some health issues, and my concern was that he would languish in a shelter or that they would be separated. They are a bonded pair. So we adopted her 2 cats. The first one is Tux. We call him Deluxe because he's a big kitty. And the other one is Lucy, and we call her Goose, like Lucy Goosey. And they are really, really sweet cats. They're incredibly resilient. You know, they went through losing their owner, and they bonded with us really well. So we're very happy to have them. The 4th cat actually came to us just this year. I want to say it was early June of 2021. And we were out walking our dogs and heard a cat calling out, and we found her. Her name is Fiji, and we found her, and it was very clear that she was somebody's pet. She was not a feral cat. She was used to humans. She wanted to be held. She wanted to be loved on, and she was following us down the road, and it's a road where people go fairly fast on, and she was at a significant risk of getting hit. So we decided to take her home. We took her to the Humane Society. We posted all over the Facebook page, the town's Facebook page, the Lost and Found. The Humane Society posted about her. We contacted the microchip company because she did have a microchip. This is Sadie. She did have a microchip, and basically the microchip company contacted the owners on file, and the owners said, we don't want her. So she was a sweet cat, and by the time we had learned all of that, it was about 3 weeks in, and she was super sweet, and we had kind of bonded with her, and we toyed with the idea of dropping her off at the shelter so she could be adopted out, and we just chose to adopt her ourselves instead. So now we have 4 cats, and the inn is full on the cat front. We have no more room for any more cats. For us, 4 cats is like past the crazy cat lady, past the crazy cat gentleman stage, and we're kind of just shifting full on into the nutter butter cat people stage. So no more cats. 4 is our max. But we may in the future be getting more dogs or more farm animals. That's always up in the air. But for now, the main journey is the house renovations and the yard renovations, creating a cottage garden out of a blank slate. There weren't any shade trees when we moved in here, and we've planted a willow and a river birch, and we plan to plant many more trees this fall. And I want to document that and share that. So I hope you come along on this journey with us. I hope that you like, I hope you subscribe, I hope you comment. I want to get to know everybody who's following along. I want to know what you're doing in your space and trade stories and have that sense of community, because that's important to me. So I hope you join us, and if you do, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. A bee! Hopefully he doesn't like my hair. My hair is not an option.